You and I actually had this discussion in real time way back then when people were saying it's politically fraught to pursue impeachment against Donald Trump, particularly since there's not much chance he was going to be convicted of it anyway. And you and others made the argument that that shouldn't be part of the calculus. Either you as members of Congress do what you are called upon to do and what the Constitution dictates that you do, or you don't. But it shouldn't be about whether it's politically fraught or politically advantageous.
Thank you, Ali. And it was effective, right? We did not obtain a conviction in the Senate, but by holding him accountable in the first impeachment, we were actually able to shine a light on this effort to have Ukraine put dirt on Joe Biden, and we stopped it. And Ukraine was not able to ultimately run the campaign that Donald Trump was inviting them to run. So shining a light, although it did not remove Donald Trump, it prevented Ukraine from doing that. And I just want to draw a distinction between what happened with Ukraine, where you had Masha Yovanovitch, Fiona Hill, Lieutenant Colonel Vindman coming forward, and they stopped that corruption scheme. We're now reading about all of these actors who were preparing for a coup because Donald Trump was contesting the election, but they didn't have the gumption or the courage to come forward before the coup. They're telling their story now to vindicate themselves in books, but had they done that, perhaps we would not have seen the Capitol stormed the way it was and democracy nearly die as it did on January 6th.
You know, Jim Jordan, whom Speaker Pelosi has rejected from being a member of this committee, Jim Jordan had said this is just impeachment number 3. You've been involved in the impeachments. You've written about the impeachments. Why? What is your response to people who say this is impeachment 3?
He's unserious. And this is somebody who was holding the gas cans when the arson took place and now wants to be on the committee that investigates the arson. And Speaker Pelosi recognizes that democracy is on life support. And this is very binary. Either you are a part of the team that's trying to resurrect it, or you are trying to pull the plug. And Jim Jordan and Jim Banks, who was hanging out with an insurrectionist, they want to pull the plug while we need a serious investigation so that we can ensure and guarantee every American this will never happen again.
So I want to read to you an op-ed by Greg Sargent and Paul Waldman in the Washington Post today. They post something interesting. They're saying efforts at a real examination of arguably the worst outbreak of political violence in modern times and efforts to protect our democracy more broadly will not be bipartisan. These things will be done by Democrats alone. The less involved McCarthy is with this committee, the more likely it will be to undertake a genuine and comprehensive accounting. So Waldman and Sargent are making the point that if the serious work needs to be done, it may be just as well that McCarthy's not populating his side of the team.
That's exactly right. And by the way, he had a chance to have an independent bipartisan commission that he and Mitch McConnell walked away from. And as I was saying, this is so binary right now. Either you're trying to resurrect and revive democracy or you're trying to kill it, that when people say to me, well, Liz Cheney, I don't agree with her on, where she stands on abortion or where she stands on taxes. I say, well, give me the problem that democracy is around in 3 years, that we can have that debate with her. But right now, she is standing up for democracy. So we need her. Same thing to Adam Kinzinger. And so, yes, we need to move swiftly right now. And having Jim Jordan on the committee just for the sake of, quote unquote, bipartisanship, I don't think that goes to saving democracy.
Yeah, and so Jim Jordan and Banks have both said they're there to save conservatism and things like that. Liz Cheney actually made the point, let's play it, that there's no room for partisanship in this exploration. Listen to what she said.
There must be an investigation that is nonpartisan, that is sober, that is serious, that gets to the facts wherever they may lead. And at every opportunity, the minority leader has attempted to prevent the American people from understanding what happened, to block this investigation. This investigation must go forward. The idea that anybody would be playing politics with an attack on the United States Capitol is despicable and is disgraceful.
And Congressman, I want to show you a poll by CBS and YouGov released yesterday. These are amongst young Americans. 72% say there's more to learn. Even of the Republicans polled, 59% say there is more to learn. So this is the point that Liz Cheney's making. I had all sorts of people coming on. I'd have people on my show telling me maybe it's Antifa, maybe it's BLM. Great. Well, you got yourself a commission. You can work it all out.
That's right. And we just learned yesterday that there was an active DEA agent who was at the Capitol. He was arrested. So there's so much more to learn as to who was involved that day. But right now, what I think is just so awful, Allie, the Capitol Police and the Metropolitan Police, who fought in hand-to-hand combat for hours that day, they are seeing the Republicans sympathize with the cop killers, vote against security assistance to make sure this doesn't happen again, vote against the gold medal being awarded to those officers, blaming police and suggesting that the FBI was behind it. And then today, the final insult to just walk away and not be there next week when 4 officers will animate just how horrible that day was.